Greetings and welcome back. It is a beautiful morning, and it is nearly the end of our season. Got a few options left for us today, and we're gonna have to finish up some farmland and maybe sell some things so we can get ourselves that fence so we can actually have our fields be protected. But for now, it's just nice to sit in front of the lake and let the morning show up. I hope that you're in a good space. Hope that you are having a good day, and I hope that even if it's been a challenge today, that for now it can be a spot where you can relax, let the troubles of the day fall away, shed them off of you, and just have a little time to unwind. So let's get ourselves started with our day. See if we can catch some fish, and that'll help us out with getting a little more cash. There we go. One perch. Ooh, no more spear. Well, that's too bad. I'll have to see if I have any more spears left here. I got myself a log on the way in, so that I knew at some point we'd be running low on durability of those two logs. So we'll get ourselves some spears going here, and we'll see if we can catch a few more fish. Now, I did notice there's something over there I can see in the distance. Oh, that was rough. A little too fast on that one. Might as well get a drink of water while we're out here. Nice to be by a lake. Good to have fresh water near you. Good to have a place where you can just sit and stare and look at the water. And not only that, but also fish. Let's see here. Let's see if we caught him coming back this way. I don't know. I think they might have taken a turn into a spot that I can't see him too well. Maybe we'll go investigate those. Oh, here we go. Oh. Oh dear. Well, fishing ain't easy. Couple questions for people who are joining here. And by the way, I'm grateful for y'all joining me. I'm glad to have you here in this playthrough. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I'm enjoying the challenge of it, and I'm also enjoying just the relaxed pace of it and the expectation of just, we're taking our time with it. We're going to challenge ourselves, but we're going to enjoy the time too. Oh man. Alright. Well, I'm starting to look like I'm not going to be making those throws so well. Let's go look up some other things. Let's go check out what we got over here. Thank you for joining me in this playthrough, and also a couple questions for you. One, when I look at dialogue options, when I'm going through the quest lines, do you want me to read through them fully? Do you want to see like a very detailed playthrough where we go at our very steady, slow pace? Oh, wheat grains, that's wonderful. So wheat grains will be good for us since we can plant that now, and that can be a part of helping us get our farmland up and running. Now, ducks may not be bad to hunt. Okay, so that first question about pacing wise. Next question is going to be, how about the background music? Right now, the background music is standard in-game music for Medieval Dynasty. I also have an AI program that is making me some backbeat music, some chill music, which I think could be good. Would that be something that people would prefer? Would you prefer lo-fi backbeats, just like lo-fi beats in the background that are chill and relaxing, or stick to the in-game music? That's my question for y'all. And let me know in the comments, please. Here we go. Well, I tell you what, that didn't exactly go terribly to plan. But, oh well. Had to try. Gotta get used to the distances on things. We can get a duck, we can get some feathers, some meat. We'll just kind of see if they're worth hunting. Oh, I am not ready for duck hunt, that's for sure. Well, let's get ourselves started in the day. Get ourselves back on. And let's get ourselves into the village too. We have a few things we could sell, and that could be a handy thing to do so we can get ourselves that fence, because right now we do not have fencing around our fields. And that's going to lead us to losing half of our crops. So I better gather up some sticks on the way back in. We know we need them. Now, a little wooden stick fence, we're going to have to say, can only have a short-term time it lasts. It doesn't make any sense that a little fence made of sticks is going to last forever, so we're going to have to set a rule on how long these fences can last. In that I'm going to be aiming to get to the point where I have stone fences because those would actually last around a field. These ones, we'll have to give a duration on them. And if you have suggestions and you want to be a part of making those choices and the rules here, I'm totally good with that. And, ooh, we don't need crows around our field. we also need to work on our throws. That's okay, we'll get there. We're taking our time learning and we can figure it out. Check our trap and let's get going. Now, mushrooms may not be a bad idea, but as I recall, they don't really give you a lot of cash. So until we can cook them into something decent, it's going to be pretty rough to get money out of them. Well, let's get these sticks gathered up and we can leave them out in a nice little pile for us and take care of this later. Let's check what kind of things we can sell that we have. Since right now, buying that schematic for our fields and the fences around our fields is going to be quite expensive, it turns out. Well, let's drop these here. We will be building that later. Right, what do we have that we can use? Don't need to keep all the dried meat, although I better not get too greedy about selling those, just because I might need them in a later season. I think we should plant these hop seeds. These oat rolls might be good. They will feed us pretty well. I think we should have one on reserve. The pear wine can go. Simple bags, I don't want to sell too many of those. We need a lot of work with that. Spruce bark I don't think people would buy, so I'm not going to permit myself to sell it, so we'll have to let that be. Feathers is not a bad idea, but I also want to be sure that we keep those around for our work. We will need them. Oh, roasted fish meat's definitely the way to go. We haven't eaten breakfast yet. Let's have a little bit of rabbit haunch, and then let's grill up some fish. Only one fish today. Not the best starting catch, but it's what it is. Alright. Onward into town. We have a few things. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. And I don't think we're going to have any luck finding more boars, and I don't know if it's I don't think it'd be a wise idea to start a fight with a boar today, just because I only have 2 spears ready. And only 2 spears is not going to get us through the fight with a boar, as we saw last time. And as we just noticed with my ability or my my learning to get better at throwing the spear, because right now my skills aren't at the highest. Plantain's good. We had to use some of this to nurse our wounds last night, so let's take care of that. And that'll be a part of our time for recovery. If we get really injured as a character, we'll say that we have to change the amount of movement we can do. One of the rules can be if we get significantly injured from a fight with a wolf or a boar, that the next day there's just no running permitted, right? So it's all walking no matter what I do. It's a 0 run policy. That could be fun to do and kind of give a little bit of a challenge to things and kind of make it so I have to really consider what I'm doing, right? You also slow things down and also add a little challenge, right? Okay, it looks like there's somebody in town who's got some help they need. We can talk to them and also get some of these things sold. Try to stand far enough back from this poor guy. I don't need to get flailed. We happen to have traveled with that dried meat. That's good. The hops are, I mean, that's not a lot, but it's not a big, you know, we just, ooh, that's going to be a big deal. Finding that wine was huge. 150 meat, or 152 coins for that is really nice. I think I'll keep the roasted meat for now. Let's see. We still have to get through surviving, so we should probably keep some of these things on hand. Alright, with that, we have 500 coin. First things we got to do, we have to unlock our technology for our fence. So let's do a stick fence. And then let's say I have to have the gate, obviously, right? Rules are rules. I have 247 coins left. That's not bad. Okay. Well, that's not bad. What can we do here? Things that we could probably want to buy. I wouldn't mind one more apple tree, just because it would round out what we have so far. Cabbage seeds, I know we still have. I think we probably really need to think about making cash, and flax is going to be the way to make cash, so can't ignore that. Do you think we're going to be stuck with having low amount of fertilizer, so we should probably consider that. Well, and we better consider us getting this field done too. Maybe we'll take some oat grain, just so we can get a start on some of these crops that we don't have yet, and we can kind of get through that. Poppy seeds, They don't look like they sell for too much, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Wheat grain's gonna be more than worth it. Okay.
Have a good day.
Perfect. Let's see what we can do to help out another person here. Maybe we can get a little bit done. What do you need help with? Strong man. Well, I hope so. Let's see what we can do. Oh, alright, I will help you out. So, we need to help feed some people. We want to make sure we're helping our neighbors. We need more meat, so that means I'm going to have to get my spears out and get hunting. Might be nice to meet some of our neighbors here. Figure out what they're all about. We can use inspect because otherwise it'll be hard to figure some of these things out. So, let's see here. 30 years old. You could be a good... when we're thinking about min-maxing things, they'd be good to have him around. Let's see. Get to know you a bit. What's your favorite local cuisine? Where are you from? How many brothers do you have? What's your favorite color? Mine's brown. Great to have earth tones. Very chill and peaceful and very nice for blending in, and also just works with everything. What's your biggest dream? Wish for... Oh, dreams, my dream is not to be a queen. You don't have to wish for something that's not bound to happen. Okay. You want to see the kingdom happier than before. That's a great thing. Alright. That guy. Talking about us. Okay, man. You just go ahead and talk about your trouser issue. Alrighty, let's head up out of here. And now we have to get some meat for this person. I could try to get a boar over in the other area. Again, the whole idea, if I can get myself in a good position, I can make it so that I won't get taken down by the boars. Once they start charging, they're quick. I don't want to get gored by the boar. Might not be bad to find. There we go. See if we can sneak up on a hawk. I mean, thinking on a scale of how likely is this to happen. Eagle, sorry. Oh, so unlikely. But we gotta try. I could always try to get rabbits. And every time we throw, we get a little better. Every time we try, we get a little better. So all of this is going to be a journey of, oh yeah, we're not going near that. We don't need bandits to be coming at us this early on. It'll be certainly a short stay in this part of the valley if we end up having the bandits figure out that we are around and that we are taking treasure from where they were hiding it. Oh, darn it. Alright, let's see if we can get ourselves rabbit. And maybe in due time we'll find ourselves a good hunting spot. Pike. That'll get us a lot of meat. Fish meat though. I gotta gauge my distances better. Alright. We have a lot of fields to take care of. We can switch gears here. And we'll do our quest for... We'll find a way to get this meat for this person. Oh! Well, already done the hunting for that. Tell you what, that being the case, let's finish up our gardening here. Let's finish up planting. I want to make sure we get through this day. Oop, can't do that. All right. We still have a ways to go here. Only 20 fertilizer. I think we better consider coming back for more. So, what we can do, we'll wrap this field up here. We'll bring that meat in. And then perhaps we can come back and finish this field. That would be pretty nice. And then next season, we'll take care of more of the quest lines along the area. We need to focus on our area for now. And just kind of getting ourselves settled in. Oh my. And we're already running low on our fertilizer. Only 8 to go. We will need sticks around all of this too, but that's in due time. I figure as well, for this playthrough, we'll do a whole lot of fast forwarding where there's going to be items that are just kind of slow pace. There we go. But I'm curious as well what people would prefer for how the pacing should go. And I can go just kind of recording and talking through. Ideally, just giving like some space where we can just kind of listen, hang out, and even do just kind of be as breathing exercises. I know this time of year is a lot of fun at times. It can also be a lot of stress. So I hope that this can be a good space to unwind for people as well, and just relax. And part of that can be just in taking time to take a moment, just take a deep breath, and breathe out. And just relax where we are. Remember, when you take in that deep breath, try to imagine filling your stomach, not your chest. Those deep breaths that fill in your stomach underneath your diaphragm, those are the deep breaths that really get your body settled, and the ones that really get you relaxed. They tell your body everything's okay, and they allow your mind to relax. And so that's deep breath in and out. A helpful thing too can be to breathe in through your nose, and then when you breathe out, be sure to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. So you're sending those breaths out. And that tends to help in relaxation as well. And just recentering yourself. Alright, getting through our garden, we'll do a little fast forward so we get ourselves after this part. I'll see you there. Gotcha. Okay, finally. We'll get one of the crows, that is. Okay, perfect. We'll get a little bit of feathers from this and some meat. It's not bad. I'm guessing it's a pretty small amount of meat, though, but it's still something. Feathers will help, though. And we have one more. Oops. I'm just going to punch the ground here. We have one more item to put in this area. We got to get our last apple in here. There we are. And we do have orchards all set. Oh, I could actually use one more. Okay. Now, the next thing I think we could do, though, we do have those 2 hop seeds. So let's get that in here. Now, hops tend to grow in just about any condition. They'll grow just about anywhere. So we can set them right into here, next to the house. Could look nice, too. Now, let's get our hop seedlings in there. This look good. And it's still getting a good deal of sun. Hops tend to do better in direct sun, but they can handle a bit. They can handle a bit of low light condition. Actually, in my own backyard, I have hops growing, and they grow right over chicken coop, or at least they will in time. For now, the plants are just recovering from a long... There we go. They're recovering from a rather long season between growths, the poor things. I had planted them out in that area, and things weren't working out for them, and I thought the plant had died. So I kind of just moved on and expanded the chicken area so they would have more of an area to eat. And I kind of just figured that the darn thing died. Well, I end up looking this year, and sure enough, I see that hop coming right back out of the ground. So, oh yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I ended up getting a small a set of branches that I could dig into the ground. Some old birch branches that look rather pretty, and made it so that hop could grow back up and around. And so, got that hop plant regrowing in that area. So that, oh, you're kidding me. Nice. Oh dear. Well, that's a tough one. That's a tough bird. Takes a spear and goes on. Hopefully we don't end up having that bird come back for revenge. Imagine that. Revenge of the eagle. Oh dear. Oh dear. Speaking of revenge. Oh, I'm not going to want to throw this. Oh boy. I'm not sure that this is the wisest for us to fight this guy right now, without any way to defend myself, other than that really bad spear. Alright, let's fashion up a quick spear here. Oh dear. Oh, there's 2 of them up on the hill. Is that what's going on? Yeah, sure enough, I did not see them. Oops, and my spear is not a... Alright. We're gonna have to take advantage of the fact that this thing has to run around to get past us. Now you... Oh yeah, that's fitting. Alright, speaking of which, we're in a rough spot for injury-wise. Ooh, that was gonna be close. Oh my goodness. Oofda. Well, that was a tough one right there. Did not expect a boar fight, that's for sure. Well, we are in a rough spot health-wise. We'll have to say that that is going to slow us down a bit, right? I mean, we just got injured. Oh, we'll have to walk the rest of this trip. Alright, we'll set that as a rule. It just makes sense, right? Alright, let's see here. We've already gathered some sticks up here. Now, I think we finally got our meat solution set, though, right? I'd say that that worked out okay for here. Oofda, that was a surprise. I heard the music change, and I was like, oh, we're doomed. Oh, we're in trouble. There's got to be a boar here. I was kind of wondering, does the eagle actually come back and attack? Because that would be super hard, right? I mean, a bird in this game would be quite hard to take care of if it's in flight the whole time. Hard to aim at the beast. Well, I'd say that things went pretty well as far as us getting through that little conflict. Chasing a boar with an axe does seem a little berserker, so we'll have to go with that one. We'll have to figure out rule sets for that one. Chasing down a boar just seems kind of like but it seemed to work and get ourselves into town. I would really like to cook up this meat real quick before we get in there. Take a little time to roast some stuff up. This will be one of the few ways we can actually get ourselves some experience. Since we don't have an easy way to make production skill, we can't just flood the market with things, right? So we'll cook up a few of these, and since it's a small campfire, one of the things we could do is decide on limitations for how long it takes for this. Or we can decide there's a fixed amount we can make. Or we can just let it be and just kind of have it be what it is. Oh my. Well, the boars are definitely a challenge. And I'm not going to be able to use the plantain. So the way the plantain is going to work for me is I'm going to say that I have to have a certain amount of plantain in my inventory to use across our nights where we rest, to say that that's how we're recovering the hit points. Just so that I'm not going to run into battle and then down a bunch of plantain and then just move on. We'll say that that's a part of our set too. Well, I hope that you're enjoying your playthrough, and if you've restarted in the valley, it can be a very pretty place to be. I like seeing the changes they had. Think all the way back to before they released the game initially, and how far... Uh-oh, just realized something. Important to make sure that we don't kind of space out the fact that we are also needing to bring that meat back to our person here. So I got a little too caught up in the moment, and I kind of just cooked too much more, or I cooked a little much more than I should have. Oh, we'll have to find that last little bit of meat here. Ooh, and not get hit by a tree. Alright, let's get that last little bit of meat. And then we'll go and turn this in. Now we just need to find one last thing for that meat. Let's see if we can get this eagle up here. Well, maybe not. I mean, I do know there's a boar over here, so that's a thing. I certainly don't want to have to deal with that. Oop. I gotta remember my rule about not running. Well, we'll have to make do with what we're at, and, you know, sometimes mistakes get made. That was definitely me not paying full attention, and that does happen from time to time. Now, it'll be alright though. What we'll do is, we'll find a way to get some meat back into the village. And if that means getting a rabbit, we'll have to get a rabbit. And if it means trying to catch one of those smaller birds, we'll try to catch one of those smaller birds. Oh, darn, I got too busy thinking about making all that meat roasted up so that we could think about where we're going with that, but I got distracted and then realized, oh, wait, you have some quest lines to think about. There we go. Now we'll get back into town. We also have to be sure that we get back so we can build our fencing. We are not set there. I think what we'll try to do is we'll see if the cook has any extra meat on hand. We'll have to pay a little bit of cash for it, but you know, that'll be the price we have to pay for getting what we were doing. And we better wrap up this day and get ourselves going onward. Hey, see what you got. Just need 2 pieces of meat. I'll only buy 1, but that's okay. Have a few roasted meats we can sell you. How about that? Let's sell a bunch of these off. We have plenty at home. And here we should have 6 meat. What's good there? And I do believe that that'll do for us. Fair amount of coin. Not bad. We're doing alright with that. Alright, here you are. We were a little spacey on how we got this to you. Thanks. We'll take that 25 coin and put it to a good cause. Now, I don't think we have enough time to finish any gardening up other than to build our stick fence. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to head on back. Let's finish up that stick fence so that we can assure that we have our seasonal change working out okay. Would be nice to get some berries and just let these rot. I'm going to say that we can't take advantage of perhaps the cabbage trick, although I don't know, that's a tricky one since admittedly making fertilizer for a field shouldn't be terribly complex, but it is one of the rules in the game and I don't want to ruin that. Alright, we do have a bit of a trek ahead of us. We have to walk back real slow since we are not 100% healthy right now. We got hit by a boar pretty significantly, so we aren't going to rush. And there's a beautiful moonrise. We should be getting pretty late in the day. We gotta definitely get ourselves back and finish up this fence. Otherwise we run the risk of losing half of our crop for next season. See what we can do for gathering sticks on the way. And I know we have a number at home. And we may want to get one more tree before we get back. And that one more tree will get us a couple logs, and I know we're going to go through a hammer. And we have 2 fields that we're going to wrap into this. 2 fields that we can use for our first garden. Our first set of gardens. We won't call them a field yet. They're not big enough to call fields yet. So we'll call them our garden. We already have our small orchards set up. We'll call those gardens too, since clearly they aren't much, but they're still something. They're still our start. And we've done pretty well getting ourselves in this part of the valley. We've met some people. We've helped a little bit. And we may just make a good start of this. We may just make it here. Still have to get through winter. It is spring. Oh, you know it. Always ready for a beverage at the end of a hard day. Let's get that fence done there, buddy. And then we'll set ourselves up. Here we go. Here's our field. Now, if I don't get myself to bed before too late, we'll have to say we take a point of exhaustion for those who, for fun and for thinking D&D wise. If you played D&D, you know points of exhaustion in the game were a good way to take care of some of the more silly things you could have done in the game, where you're like, oh, I'll just do this, and this. Like, all right. Well, you have to at least like take a point of exhaustion.
I'm dying of thirst.
Uh-oh, poor guy. We better get him a drink of water. Okay, we may have to just get rid of the field. There we are. And now here we go. We'll wrap up. Oh, I am really not seeing these fence lines, am I?
I'm dying of thirst.
Go in, over, and then let's get ourselves our gate. Let's do 2 gates. And that'll look a little nicer. There we go. Let's do that. That'll look nicer. Alright. We'll get this fence wrapped around here.
Haven't been drinking enough today.
Uh-oh. And then let's get over here. Do have to get our character some water. Looks like I definitely did another one of the edges where I didn't go quite far enough. So let's just go way over. Make sure we've got it all set. There we go. Alright. Here, oh, it's dark out. We will need a fence, or we will need a
My mouth's dry.
we will need a torch in order to see at night. We'll say that that's a rule as well. Is that if we're going to be out at night, we have to have a torch out. Otherwise, we can't see where we're going, we'll say. Alright, this fence will take us a little while, but this will be it for us. Day will be wrapped up. Oh, I was overloaded. My apologies. People who noticed that I was overloaded, I totally did not, and I apologize for that. Didn't even look. I was noticing it because I was too busy just walking. So we'll call that having to walk for a while tomorrow.
I haven't been drinking enough.
There we go. Alright, y'all. We'll fast forward here. It is a beautiful area that we ended up settling in. We'll take a small walk through the forest,
It's time for a beverage.
see the fireflies floating around, and get to the lake. Beautiful beautiful clear night it is. Get ourselves a drink of water. Ooh, stepped in the wrong spot for the water. There we go. Let's get a drink from a spot that's not got the stagnants. There we go. We have a stream over here we'll have to get to at some point. The most bizarre thing in the world just happened. I was hammering the gate here, and a crow flew over the gate, and I knocked it with the hammer, and I took the crow out. It's just the most bizarre thing that's ever happened. Well, good morning. The next day, we're here. We have some of our dried meat that we can eat for food, and these apples will have taken care to survive the seasonal change, so we eat those. But what I will say is that we shouldn't eat any meat that we let sit out for an entire season, right? That seems kind of silly. So let's craft up some things here, get ourselves ready for the day. Now we do have our fields to check out, and it does say we need to complete quests for our neighbors. That's good, we've gotten a start on that. Might be nice to start talking to some of the neighbors as well, and see if we can get eventually some people to help us out around here. I mean, I'd like to build that barn. Look at that. Beautiful start here. And what a hilarious thing that happened with the crow trying to fly over me. And then it ends up getting clocked out by me and my hammer while I'm hammering. My goodness. So now, since the orchards are not fully grown yet, I am going to need to put fencing around them as well. Otherwise, we could say deer would be coming through to peruse them. Here we are. Let's gather some seeds here. Do we have any skills that we could take up? We'll have to take crafting knowledge, why not? It's the one thing we'll be doing for now, but we'll end up taking cooking knowledge for the most part because that fits our skill set. Those are the fields that will continue on throughout the next... Oh, wait. That's too much to carry. I remember my rule this time. Boom. Now with all this cabbage, we're going to need to figure out something we can do with it, because we certainly can't just have a bunch of cabbage, and we'll have to decide if it's okay to use that trick to use the seasonal divide with our cabbages, or if we have to make a different rule. Or maybe we have to have a compost bin and we can only use the amount that goes in the compost bin. That could be a good way to do it. Now the unripe berries I did forget to put out. That is something we're going to have to deal with. And I did have to make an extra little torch running low on light last night. Well, last season, I suppose we could say. Now, with our going here, Where's our collection of cabbages that I know I dropped? They must have rolled somewhere. Oh yeah, look at them go. I'm back over here, you buddy. Okay, there we are. The cabbages are decent. We can get some money off of them. I think we do need to build that compost bin. Ooh, you. Can't be having crows wandering around our garden, because that's obviously trouble for us. Ooh, sorry, that was me running. I got a rule about us not running today because we had that injury from last time around. Let's get some more sticks, which I just put back in, and let's check our trap. First day of summer. It's going to be warm. We'll have to see what we can do about that. Also want to see what we can do about our first buildings. We do need a barn. And as any good farmer would know, we need somewhere to thresh. So we're going to need to get a barn up and going. That's probably going to be our entire day today, is just getting that barn going and then getting the fencing up around our orchards. I'm not worried about putting any fences around the hops because there are not a lot of creatures that tend to like to eat hops. They tend to be pests, if anything. So we don't have to deal with that one. It would just make sense not to. Better get those cabbages put away. You can tell I'm so used to hurrying through this game. Every time I get a spare as I'm thinking about moving, I immediately press the shift key to move, and that means run from one place to another. There's no point in making that sickle just yet. We need a barn, which means we have to figure out where we're going to place it, where we need to place it. First barn. Now I might put it here because that's near our fields. We're going to end up expanding this area though. Now I think our farmland can extend back that way and around. So perhaps what we can do is put the barn right up here on the hill, just because we aren't going to be able to do much else with this hill anyway. Can't plant too much on here. It's a decent slope, so it wouldn't be the best for farming on. Now we'll gather up our resources and let's go slowly but surely and make this barn throughout the day. I'll gather up the resources, we'll cut things down, we'll go bit by bit. We'll set this thing up and I'll put it on fast forward here, so sit back and enjoy, and let's finish up that barn. there we are. What a wonderful place to have. We are set. We are in a spot where we can actually consider us ready to be a farmer. Alright, the only other thing we need to think about here, we need some compost bins to start up. Now I do know that in this game there is a much more efficient way to take care of your oh boy, look at that, throwing logs across the way. There's a much more efficient way to do the rot and the fertilizer across seasonal divides. Is you just drop them on the ground and they convert directly over. I'm choosing not to use that little ability, and instead what I'm saying is that I have to use compost bins properly. So I have to actually use the workstations to do the actual work, so that I can't just instantly have tons and tons of fertilizer. Because right now, if I just dropped all of my cabbage, which would be the best use of my cabbage, if I was trying to go fast in the game, and if I was trying to just get the quick rush through everything and get to the next level, I would say that I would just drop all my cabbages on the floor now, ground, sorry, and I would have just gotten a whole bunch of compost across the seasonal divide. It's a huge amount, and it's, you know, it's handy if you are in a playthrough right now where you are able to do that. By all means, it's a great way to get some free compost. At least it'll get your rod. Now, unfortunately, I have to break my rule because I can't make the workstation without having the logs in my inventory. So, you know, I apologize, but I do have to make sure I have this bin. Maybe we'll turn it to the side. Let's make it this. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's see. And then we can start dropping stuff in here. Some berries in there. We'll end up putting some cabbages in there. Now, I do need to think about that. Oh yeah, oops. Did I not skin this crow yet? Oops, I had thrown a spear at one of the crows trying to get at our garden, and I managed to get the darn thing. Oh, look at that. Got another rabbit, that's good. We'll have to make a new trap. I'm pretty sure this one's at the end of its course. Make a new trap, set it back up, because this is doing well for us right here. We're definitely getting a good amount of rabbits here. Oh, dear. And I can unlock that scheme. Do we have a coin to do that? Would not mind having a bird trap. We have 105 coin. Yeah, it's worth it. Let's do that. There's plenty of birds around here. We need to start catching them. So what we'll do is we'll say that we put our bird trap over here by the fields. We know there's crows flying around here. We know that they're trouble. We don't need to have them getting into our field. So let's make sure we trap them. Get rid of them and get ourselves some free feathers out of the deal. Okay, birdie. You want to keep trying to eat our crops? Well, this will get you. Now, I need to gather up some stones. I need to start gathering up some things to harvest our flax. Then it's going to be time for us to maybe get our plan for the next buildings, and maybe it's time to start thinking about people in our settlement. Maybe it's time to consider bringing some people on. With all these building projects in mind, with all these thoughts about, hey, I'd like to start a village, you know, if I'm going to do this, I should probably have more people working with me if we're going to make a start of it. Why not? I mean, Uncle Lorden was able to recruit people easily, apparently had quite the charm. We'll have to, oh, carrying too much. And, let's see here. We'll make a few stone sickles. These will be necessary for us, and they'll go fast. Their durability is really low. We could just go into the flax and pick it by hand, sure, but that's not a rule set in this game, so we won't allow ourselves to do that. Alrighty, let's get in there. It may not be bad to have a herbalist hut. Of course, then I'm going to need somebody who can actually do that. And this is a good season to think about having that herbalist, since Nightshade is out and about in the summer. It'd be easy for us to make some poison potions out of that. Those poisons would definitely be a thing that we could sell as well. That could be handy too. That'd be a great way for us to make money. Now, I am saying, though, I would need a villager to do that, though. But we would have to take on a villager who would have that skill set, because we'll say we don't have that skill set. We are a farmer and hunter. And, you know, for your playthrough, if you want to try to kind of go with these rule sets that I'm going here, I had an idea where it's basically choose two major categories, two major things that you would think about for your character. Like for example, I chose, oh, we have skilled farmer, no skill sets yet. There we go, no new skills points. Like I chose farmer hunter because I know that I like hunting in this game, right? Like that's something I'm sure you've seen from my videos. I do rather enjoy the hunting side of things. I prefer to do that job. And I don't prefer to have my villagers do that job just because I have fun with it. And in this playthrough, it's going to be even more interesting since I have permadeath on and also significant issues with injury, right? Where we have to be cautious. We can't just overdo ourselves. We could get hurt and therefore ruin our next day. Like for example today, I don't get to run at all because of that boar fight that we had and the injuries we sustained from the boar fight. So for you, if you want to do this kind of just fun rule set thing, I'm basically saying that you can choose two major skill sets, right? Like I chose farmer hunter. You could choose herbalist and production, because then you could make like blacksmith, right? And then you could make items like say our weaponry, or you could say maybe you're actually a weaponsmith and you focus just on weaponry and you say that that's a part of your rule set, that it has to be either weaponry or armor or something like that, or maybe you're both weapons and armor. Some very talented smiths could do both. Or maybe you're just toolsmith. Depends how far in you want to get the rules and how, oops, someone's really weigh us down quick. How intense you want your rule set to be. So it could be as simple as saying, well, I can have access to production tech and say farming tech, which would be a great skill set to have. Or you're saying, well, actually, we have to, since we're Racemir in the Valley playthrough, then we have to take farming and then something else. Like potion making. Perhaps you're the alchemist or the herbalist, I should say. Maybe that was a skill set you got from your family, and the way we can think about it is it's like, hey, this was a skill set that you have naturally as who you are, farmer, but, or you could say from your family you got farmer, and the other skill set is one that you picked up over time or learned from family as well. Diplomacy could be one of them, obviously, as well. Whatever makes your playthrough enjoyable, that's the key. Oh my, I think we're gonna be out of this stone sickle in no time. Now, I'm really looking forward to someday having somebody who can do production for us. I just don't know how we're gonna get access to a mine anytime soon. Mines are far away from this particular village. There's one up in the hills that way, which is pretty decent, but to get there, there are going to be bear, and it's quite a walk. And that'll be something we'll have to explore in our rule set, right? We have to decide, well, if it's going to be that far to travel, how does that work with our village? Like, do we contract out through them, so we therefore have to pay money, which is like a certain set of money per season? We have to, oh, dang it, not again. I keep getting overloaded and not noticing. I gotta pay attention to that. We are carrying way too much stuff. Oh, I have all that flax weighing me down. That's part of the problem. Alrighty, well, let's get rid of some of this stuff. We'll come back for that spear later. We'll have to figure out some more of our rule set plans. We'll have to decide, what do we want to set up for ourselves? Well, what a calm and peaceful, relaxing day after our fairly intense spring of various hunting escapades and fights with boars. This is a much more relaxed start to our season here, that's for sure. Maybe I'll drop some straw in here. Yeah, I'll wait on that. We will have to give ourselves a little bit of the tailoring skill, just because otherwise there may be absolutely no way for us to get through this first season. Or perhaps that idea is that we have to get a skilled person to help us out, right? There we are. There we are. And that's it. Okay, we finally got all of our items set. Flax is done. Left a couple logs on the ground here we'll have to take care of. And now we can finally thresh. As long as I don't overload myself. We'll drop some sticks here and come back for that in a bit. Alright, let's take care of threshing and see what we can do. This will be nice because this could be a good part for us. This could be what we need for making a little bit of cash. You know, thinking about some of the interesting things that you could craft in this game. Here's our character using a flail, which has been used as a, as a conscription weapon. We could have a flail as a great thing to use, or isn't like that. It's got distance on it, it's got bludgeoning damage. I'd love it if we had a flail that we could use. Let's not get into too much detail about the fact that we would definitely have needed some metal working skills in order to make that chain that's on the end of that thing, but we don't have to have every single detail work perfectly. Alright, that is very satisfying. So now we have all the flax we could need. We can sell a large collection of these seeds. And I think tomorrow that'll be a great thing for us to do. We'll take a walk into town and we'll sell that stuff off. It's getting late already. And for now, I think we do need to get a drink, right? I think we've definitely worked hard today. Left my tools out. We better make a little spot for our sticks and things like that. Oh, actually, come to think of it, let's get a drink of water first. We'll come back through. I think it's worth us finishing the fences around our apple orchard and then thinking about how we want it to look next. I would love to buy some more apple seedlings so that we can expand. You are parched, my friend, and we will take care of that. There we go. Always good to get a start on the fishing for the day. We'll catch a couple fish while we're here. I do want to take a walk to wherever the pike are. See if we can fish some pike out. Those are a lot bigger fish, and we can definitely get more meat out of that deal. Oh, they're just a wild and swimming quick. There we go. We're doing better today. Now, that spear is probably going to last for only one more. Let's get one more. I think we're hungry. We've had a long day. A lot of hard work. It'd be important for us to get a good meal today before the end of this day. Nice. Alright. Let's get a couple of these reeds. We are going to, here at the end here, let's have ourselves a nice little fire. Now, it would be really nice. Let's see here. I wonder if we can make ourselves a fire. Campfire. Proper one. We have to buy the technology. Oh, and I don't actually have the tech yet. Okay, we'll get there. We can do a simple fire for now. And then in the future, we'll make ourselves a nice little sitting area. This will be our spot. Our spot where we come together at the end of the day and just relax. After working hard, taking care of what we need to do around our area. We're curious to see how this village expands over time. And this is the spot I love the most. Let's have ourselves a fire right here. And a shore lunch, right? Let's cook up some fish. And thanks for joining me for this quick meal here. Right by the lake. Beautiful spot to be. And as we wind down for the end of this video, I hope that as you go into your day, that you have a wonderful day, or if it's the end of your day and it's time to relax for the next day, then I hope the rest of your day is great, and I hope that tomorrow is good as well, and is as best as it can be. Such a nice area. And sometimes it's nice to just relax and allow ourselves to be separate from the day and just settle in and be in a different space and let ourselves unwind. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care until next time. Thanks for joining me.